Lions, Panthers coming up Sunday from Ford Field. Carolina has not won a game yet. Lions, a little banged up on the injury front from yesterday. Brian Branch, ankle, still hasn't played, so hasn't practiced. Obviously, they haven't played since the last a week from tonight, a week previous to tonight in Green Bay. And also, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra's got a abdomen deal. We don't know how severe, but we thought it was the toe. That seems to be okay. So we'll find out. They practice later today. We'll see what the practice report comes out. And usually, John, you know better than anyone. If you're on that list on Friday as didn't practice, chances are you're not playing.
Yeah, it becomes very difficult to get back on the field. And if you haven't practiced all week, and some coaches will have a policy, it varies in terms of in regards to how old you are as a player, your veteran status. But if you don't get a chance to get on the field by Friday, even if it's just a jog around, walk around, they don't have a lot of faith that you're going to be able to do the real deal, the real thing by Sunday.
Right.
So, yeah, it becomes ominous.
They obviously need both of them. I mean, they can still beat Carolina without them, and they can still lose with them too. That's the way the NFL is. But you got to hope that both of them can play. Okay, let me ask you this: which one do you think is more vital, Branch or St. Brown?
St. Brown, because I think defensively, and we don't know about Mosley yet, Emmanuel Mosley. If he's able to come back, then you're basically trading one for one. Mm-hmm. There's no trade with Amon-Ra St. Brown. There's nobody that can fill his shoes. Now, there's by committee, and here's what I think the benefit of Ben Johnson's offense, the benefit of having a veteran quarterback like Jared Goff is you can spread the ball around more. Hopefully, J-Mo can contribute a little bit more than maybe they were expecting him to. Oh,
no, yeah. we want him to be a touchdown Lions. Exactly.
Yes, but that's a great call, Heather. Great call.
Thank you.
But I think that's the bigger loss between those two. I think, and I don't even know that it's close.
All right. So at the quarter pole, as we like to say, the Lions are 3-1. They're a very good team. What's their biggest deficiency in your mind?
I'm sticking with what I said at the beginning of the year, what I'm riding with now, and it is wide receiver. If Amon-Ra St. Brown can't go, you don't have a lot of guys that you could turn to fill his shoes, fill that production. And again, I'll repeat. I think Ben Johnson, there's other offensive minds who can create opportunities for other players. Mm-hmm. But when you take out a huge piece like Amon-Ra St. Brown of this offense and you don't have a guy that can go in there and replace him, not necessarily the same level, because guys you don't have that type of depth generally at any position, but especially a wide receiver where you're going to replace your number one.
Correct. The other thing is, you mentioned the depth that they have in the secondary. We're not 100% sure. Mosley coming back, he hasn't played in almost a year, right?
Yeah.
So we're not exactly if he's completely up to speed. He will play, and they do have depth, like you mentioned. We had Jerry Jacobs, Melifonwu, a lot of players out there. I mean, the fact that they are able to be still really good back there without the Gardner Johnson is pretty damn impressive. But you're right, and especially for me, when you get into the red zone, they really don't have that guy who you can just throw it up and he can go grab it up. High point the ball, as they like to say. I mean, they've been successful in the red zone with the short little route where he's thrown to St. Brown and some other player, Josh Reynolds for one. But yeah, that's what I think going in, regardless of injury, for this game going forward. I think that's their biggest weakness right now. Things can change, obviously, but having that big play receiver in the red zone is mine.
And maybe Jamison Williams, that could be an area where he excels.
Right.
He does have a special set of skills. Now we just need to see it. And here's the difference is if Mosley comes back, he hasn't played in about a year, but he does have NFL experience.
Yes.
He has had success. And while he may have some rust, and I would anticipate that he would, I think even a rusty Emmanuel Mosley, I'll take that over a guy like Jamison Williams, who we just don't know. He's not done it before. Can he do it? No one's going to argue that. He just hasn't at the NFL level.
And you got it. And the defensive backs. I mean, Carolina. When we're looking just at this week, Thielen. He's been okay. He's been banged up, and he plays and he doesn't play. And former Lion DJ Chark, who's, he gets hurt every year.
Yeah, but he's not on the injury list.
No, he'll be playing. So, and you got Bryce Young. The key to the game, and we'll get into this more tomorrow. Carolina's offensive line is considered to be really, really weak. Just pressure the hell out of him.
Bryce Young. There's no question. And here's the beautiful thing with what we saw them do last week against Jordan Love. And we saw him do it against who's the quarterback for Atlanta? I forget now.
Desmond Ridder.
Yeah, Desmond Ridder. Like, they're able to put pressure on with 4 guys.
Yeah.
So if Bryce Young is struggling to just stay alive against a 4-man rush, can you imagine looking downfield and seeing 7 defenders?
Yeah.
And trying to avoid a rush, trying to find somebody in that mess, in that clutter? That's the key for the Lions.
You could have an Andy Dalton sighting by halftime.
It's very possible.